Good evening.
Hi, Ali. Good
Hi.
evening. Hi, Ali. Hi. Good evening to everyone.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How are you?
Oh, fine, Ali. Thank you. It's our last meeting. Is it so?
Yes, last meeting.
Yes, it's last meeting. Okay, it has been a great way to know each other, a great way to share our cultures. Yeah,
Uh,
do you agree?
yes.
İyi bir fırsat.
Yes.
Kültürleri buluşturmak
hı.
için.
I'm sorry, but I can't understand Turkish language.
Sana katılıyorum.
I agree with you.
Yes, I agree with you, Maria.
Mhm.
Hı.
Are there other teachers
in
in this meeting?
Yes,
Are
Seraphim
there other
teacher is
teachers?
here.
Hi, Maria.
I can't see you. Sorry.
Yes, you're right. My camera is not open. Are you fine?
Oh, yes, I am. Thank you. Okay, another teacher should be so Seraphine Servet should be a teacher.
Yes, but I cannot see
Kasia.
him.
Yes,
Kasia.
well, sorry, I could not connect. I had some internet problems,
Okay.
but I'm here and I'm ready.
Okay.
Maria, can I ask, my students were asking if we could go second, if it's a problem for
Oh,
you.
yes, why not? Yes, why not? Just I don't know how to share. Okay. Okay, let's start. Then let's start. Yeah. Okay.
Share screen
okay,
at the
here.
bottom of my computer. There is at the bottom I have an icon.
Yeah.
With...
Okay. Okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, you can start. If all the teachers agree.
Okay.
Maria
Perhaps
teacher,
Hi, Amine.
will you reflect the presentation or will I? Please reflect you.
After. We'll present after.
Maria, my students are going to be late. That's why I would like to go second, if that's okay. Because some of them are still finishing some lessons, you know, private lessons, and they would be ready after 7, whatever later. So I hope they will all be.
Can we start or we'll have to wait?
Ali, you could go first.
Ali,
yes?
what do you think?
Okay, we are start.
Okay, we can start.
Who should I host?
Yes, but I can't share because it says that I can't.
You have to make Maria a host, yes? Ali,
yeah, perhaps.
Okay.
Otherwise, I can share Ali. If you have problems, I can share the work to you and you can present.
Okay. Maria is
about WhatsApp.
host. Yes,
Okay.
Maria is host now.
Okay, now, can you see now?
Yes, we are seeing.
Okay, so the first student and perhaps the only one to present will be Emine. Is it so, Emine?
Yes.
Okay, because it should have been presented by another student too, a student of mine, but it's her birthday today, and so she now she is with her friends doing other. Okay, so Eminem, can you go on, please? Can you start?
Okay.
Okay. Emine?
We can't see the slide apart from climate. Have you moved to
This
the
one?
next?
You can't see this one?
We can
What
still
is
see the title page only. Have you moved on?
Yes. Yes, I have.
It's slowed down somehow. We still can see just climate.
Okay. I'll try again. Now?
Can you advise the slide? Okay,
That's
okay.
good.
Okay.
What is the climate? Climate is the average weather in the given area over a longer period of time. A description of a climate includes information on e.g. the average temperatures in different seasons, rainfall, and sunshine. Also, a description of the extremes is often implied.
Okay. And so you have here, you have shown two different ways, yeah? Okay, go on.
What is the climate change? Climate change refers to long-term shift in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, such as drought variations in the solar cycle. But since the 18th, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to burning fossil fuels like coal, and oil, and gas. Burning fossil fuels generates greenhouse gas emissions that act like a blanket wrapped around the Earth, trapping the sun's heat and raising temperatures. Examples of greenhouse gas emissions that are causing climate change include carbon dioxide and methane. These come from using gasoline for driving a car or coal for heating a building. For example, clearing land and forests can also release carbon dioxide. Landfills for garbage are a major source of methane emissions. Energy industry, transport, buildings, agriculture, and land use are among the main emitters. Greenhouse gas concentrations are at their highest levels in 2 million years and emissions continue to rise. As a result, the Earth is now about 1.1 degree warmer than it was in the last 18th. The last decade was the warmest on record. Many people think climate change mainly means warmer temperatures, but temperature rise is only the beginning of the story. Because the Earth is a system where everything is connected, change in one area can influence change in all others. The consequences of climate change now include, among other intense droughts, water scarcity, several fires, rising sea levels, flooding, melting polar ice, catastrophic storms, and declining biodiversity.
Okay, can you explain what is this? If you prefer. Just to show us. Yeah, okay, go on. And this one? It's a way to show. Okay.
People are experiencing climate change in diverse ways. Climate change can affect our health, ability to grow food, housing, safety, and work. Some of us are already more vulnerable to climate impacts, such as people living in small island nations and other developing countries. Conditions like sea level rise and saltwater intrusions have advanced to the point where rural communities have had to relocate and protect. Droughts are putting people at risk of famine. In the future, the number of climate refugees is expected to rise. Every increase in global warming matters. In 2018, and report to thousands of scientists and government leaders agree that limiting global temperature rise to no more than 1.5 degree would help us avoid the worst climate impacts and maintain a livable climate, yet based on current national climate plan, global warming will reach 2.7 degree by the end of the century. The emissions that cause climate change come from every part of the world and affect everyone, but some countries produce much more than others. The 100 least emission countries generate 3% of total emissions. The 10 countries with the largest emissions contribute 68%. Everyone must take climate action, but people and countries creating more of the problem have a greater responsibility to act first.
Okay, so it's an example, yeah?
We face a huge challenge, but already know many solutions. Many climate change solutions can deliver economic benefits while improving our lives and protections the environment. We also have global agreements to guide progress, such as the UN Framework Conventions on Climate Change and the Paris Agreement. Their broad categories of actions are cutting emissions, adapting to climate impacts, and financing required emissions. Switching to energy system from fossil fuels to renewables like solar or wind will reduce the emissions driving climate change. But we have to start right now. While a growing coalition of countries is commissioning to net zero emission by 2050, about half of the emissions cut must be in place by 2030 to keep warming below 1.5 degree. Fossil fuels production must decline by roughly 8% per year between 2020 and 2030.
Okay, it's a great heart here. Yeah. Okay, 3. Then?
Adaptations to climate concerns protects people, harms business, livelihoods, infrastructure, and natural ecosystem. It covers current impacts and those likes in the future. Adaptation will be required everywhere, but must be priced now for the most vulnerable people with the fewest resources to cope with climate hazards. The rate of return can be high. Early warning system for disaster, for instance, lives and property, and can deliver benefits up to 10 times the initial cost.
Okay, a lot of money here. Then?
We can pay the bill now or pay dearly in the future. Climate action requires significant financial investments by governments and businesses, but climate inaction is vastly more expensive. One critical step is for industrialized countries to fulfill their commitments to provide 100 billion a year to developing countries so they can adapt and move towards greener economies. What is the climate risk index? Climate risk is a concept that reflects its vulnerability to direct consequences, deeds, and economic losses of extreme weather events, and is measured annually by the German Watch Observatory via the Global Climate Risk Index. Episodes as the Australia's one another similar remind us that some areas of the planet are more exposed than others to impacts caused by climate change. The 2020 Climate Risk Index was presented in Madrid during the last United Nations Conference on Climate Change and determines the 10 countries presently most affected by climate change based on facts from 2018. These countries are
Okay.
Japan.
Okay, don't read. Just try to make it to summarize, just to summarize, but don't read. Yeah. Okay. Emine. Okay, go on, Emine.
Heavy rains hit the Osaka earthquake and Jebi typhoon, which ravaged Japan in 2008, made it the most threatened country in the world by climate change. Weather events themselves were behind 282 deaths on the island, 1.1 per 2,000 inhabitants and cause economic loss of $35,839 million and a collapse of per capita gross domestic product of 0.64 pence.
Okay.
2. Philippines. Typhoon monsoon struck the Philippines in 2018, affected more than 250,000 people across the country and left at least 59 dead due to torrential rainfall. According to the Government Watch, extreme weather events caused a total of 455 deaths in the country that year, 0.43 per 2,000 inhabitants, as well as more than 4,540 million USA dollars in economic losses and a drop in GDP of 48%.
Yeah. And what happened in Germany instead?
The German country ranks in the third position of the most affected countries by climate due to the heat wave it suffered in 2018, the hottest year in its history, with damage of more than $2,500 million for the agriculture sector. The weather events in Germany caused a total of 1,000.
Okay, a lot of that. Okay, thank you. Then?
For Madagascar, global warming and climate risk threaten the survival of the lemur and other endemic animal species on the island. Adverse weather events have also made the African countries one of the most vulnerable to climate change, with 72 deaths.
Okay. Then, next one.
5. India. The India subcontinent is other major victim of extreme heat, floods, and sandstorm, among other devastation natural events. In 2000.
Then, a lot of that. Then, in here.
6. Sri Lanka. This small country in the Gulf of Bengal could lose a substantial parts of its population due to future climate migrations. Furthermore, weather events is 2018 caused 38 deaths in Sri Lanka, or 18 per 2,000 inhabitants, over $3,625 million in losses and a collapse.
Okay. And then here in Africa, what happened? In Africa?
Okay.
Then can you read? Can you hear?
Yes, I can read.
Okay. So in Africa too, and in Rwanda.
8. Rwanda. The small African country affected during the past 500 years by periods of famine and armed conflicts is another of the countries most vulnerable to global warming and extreme weather events. In 2008, these caused 88 deaths, or 0.73 per 2,000 inhabitants, economic losses of $93.2 million, and a decrease in per capita GDP of 0.34%.
Yeah, in Canada?
It may surprise you to see these giants among the places most affected by climate change, but a government study suggests that Canada is warming twice as fast as the rest of the planet. Furthermore, weather events in 2018 caused 103 deaths, or
Okay, thank you. Last one.
Fiji, this archipelago paradise located in Oceania, closes the ranking of most affected countries by climate change, and the cyclones make the country live in constant reconstruction. 8 dead people in 2080 due to extreme weather events, or 0.9 per 2,000 inhabitants, losses of almost 120 million.
Okay, thank you, Amina. So
welcome.
it's just, thank you, just to, okay, yeah. Okay, just to say that we have to protect, yeah, our earth, our world, yeah, from all kind of pollution, yeah, all kind of disaster, yeah. Okay, now, if you, Kasia, now you could go on.
Ali, would you be able to make me a host so I can share my presentation? I mean, our group
Okay,
presentation.
Maria, help. You are
Maria,
host,
I don't
Maria.
know.
I don't
Yes.
know how to do. I don't know how to do. What have I to do now?
Kasyan,
Should click on the name of Kasya.
click name of the Kasya.
Yeah, here.
Uh,
And then?
Maria, you will click on the name of the Kasya, please.
Yes,
To make
I've done it.
Kasya host.
But I don't know how
Sadece
to do.
ismi dokunacak.
That's why I
Başka bir şey yok.
don't to promise this.
Nasıl yapıyorduk? Ben de unuttum onu.
Okay, I don't know how to make her host.
Maybe there are, I have three dots. Maybe the
Yeah.
dots are
Yeah, the dot. Yeah, yes.
Click
there
on the
an
dot.
option?
Okay, I think I've done it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me test it now. So hopefully I can share.
In
Yes,
any case, Amina, thank you. In any case,
so
thank you.
I will
Really
try.
good student.
Well done, brave girl.
Yeah.
You have to tell me if you can see anything on your screen yet. Sorry. Can you see my screen? I tried to share.
no, we
but
don't.
Not yet.
You can't see it yet. 1 second. Okay, that will be interesting. So, let's try again. How
Yes,
about
it's
now?
okay now.
Okay,
It's
great.
okay.
So I think the first person because hopefully it will work. I have most of my students and I would really love them to present their own work because we worked together on this slide presentation and each member worked on a different ecosystem and I would love them to present their ecosystem. I think 1 or 2 people are not there and they have friends who will present for them. So I hope we're ready to, I think Rania, I think is first. So if I do the slideshow, are you ready?
Yes.
It's loading, so.
Hello, I am Radia Kazale. I live in Jordan. I study in Princess Haya High School. Want to take about ecosystem as a geographic idea with plants, animals, and other organisms, and well as weather and landscape work together to form a couple of life ecosystem contain variety of living parts as well as beyond factors our soon living parts beyond factors include plants, animals, and other organisms. من بيان factors include rock temperature and humidity. The different types of the ecosystem include terrestrial ecosystem, forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, tundra ecosystem, forest water ecosystem, marine ecosystem.
And we have a lovely illustration of these different ecosystems. I think Tonya is not here, but I think Andre is going to present. Andre, are you there?
Yes. Aquatic ecosystem. The aquatic ecosystem is a water-based environment where living organisms interact with both physical and chemical features of the environment. These living creatures are known as aquatic organisms. Some of the most common aquatic organisms are nekton, plankton, and benthos. Additionally, lakes, oceans, ponds, rivers, swamps, coral reefs, wetlands, etc. are a few popular aquatic ecosystem examples. In general, there are two types of aquatic ecosystem, namely marine ecosystem and freshwater ecosystem. Marine ecosystem. This particular ecosystem is the largest aquatic ecosystem and covers over 70% of the Earth's total surface and is more concentrated in terms of salinity. Freshwater ecosystem. This aquatic ecosystem covers less than 1% of the Earth's surface and is broadly divided into wetlands, landing, and lotic ecosystems.
And there's a lovely illustration of these different aquatic ecosystems.
Marine ecosystem. Marine ecosystems are aquatic environments with high level of dissolved salts, such as those found in or near the ocean. Marine ecosystems are defined by their aquabiotic and abiotic factors. Biotic factors include plants, animals, and microbes. Important abiotic factors include the amount of sunlight in the ecosystem, the amount of oxygen and nutrients dissolved in the water, proximity to land, depth, and temperature. The marine fauna is very vast. It can go from microorganisms, marine viruses, marine bacteria, marine archaea, marine protists, and marine microanimals to vertebrate organisms, marine fish and tetrapods, or marine algae.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Ginda Robert, and I'm from Romania. Subterranean ecosystems, an especially fragile habitat, which is hardly noticed by the general public, is found underground. Even small impacts by man can have detrimental effects on the biodiversity of the subterranean habitat, which are irreversible. This can have severe consequences because caves are natural access to the karst and groundwater system, which is of great importance for the water supply. Examples of subterranean ecosystems, caves, aquifers, etc. Subterranean fauna. Troglofauna is associated with terrestrial subterranean environments, spiders, insects, myriapods, and others. Tygofauna is associated with all kinds of subterranean waters, fishes, salamanders, and others. Subterranean flora is almost non-existent due to lack of light, but mosses and ferns can be found in caves where light reaches. And on the slide, we have pictures of a cave, an aquifer, a cave beetle, and a cave fish. Thank you.
Very nice, thank you. Is Natalia here? Natalia? Ali, could you check, because she was trying to get in and she was one of those students who had trouble. Is anyone waiting? Ali? Now I probably have to do it, yes? Okay, we'll skip coral reefs and maybe I'll come back. Is Clara with us? No? I don't
Yes.
think so. Oh yes, Clara is here. Sorry, Clara, off you go.
A swamp is a flooded area with vegetation adapted to wet conditions. Peat forms in the swamp, i.e. a sedimentary rock formed as a result of incomplete decomposition of plant debris. A bog is formed from the accumulation of peat. The swamps are divided into quakes, sludge solid, periodic swamp. The largest swamps are in Siberia and northern Canada, where permafrost prevails. They also often form in the valleys and deltas of large rivers. There are also many swamps in Poland, in the Lublin region, where I come from. The presence of moving surface waters causes the silt to accumulate in the swamp and the formation of silt soils. In the swamps live, among others, storks, gulls, mice, rabbits, deer, lynxes, and raccoons.
Well done, thank you. Have we got Beza?
Forest ecosystem comprises of soil, trees, insects, animals, birds, and man as its interacting units. A forest is a large and complex ecosystem and hence has greater species diversity. It may be as small as a tree branch microsite where mosses, insects, and microscopic organisms interact, or as large as the boreal forest that encircles the Earth and northern latitudes. A forest ecosystem also comprises of abiotic and biotic components. Abiotic components refer to inorganic materials like air, water, and soil. Biotic components include producers, consumers, and decomposers. These components interact with each other in an ecosystem, and this interaction makes it self-sustainable. Types of forest ecosystem. First one is the tropical forest ecosystem, and second one, temperate forest ecosystem, and the third one is boreal forest ecosystem.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure if I skipped. Rainforest is Stan with us.
I'm here, teacher. Rainforest ecosystem. A rainforest is an area of tall, mostly evergreen trees and high amount of rainfall. Rainforests are Earth's oldest living ecosystems, with some surviving in their present form for at least 17 million years. They are incredibly diverse and complex, home to more than half of the world's plants and animal species, even though they cover just 6% of Earth's surface. This makes rainforests astonishingly dense with flora and fauna. 10 square kilometer patch can contain as many as 1,050 flowering plants, 750 species of trees, 400 species of birds, and 150 species of butterflies.
Stan, sorry, Stan. Our time will be up 1 minute. We can continue from the same address again. Okay?
So we just reload the Zoom meeting again, yes? Because it will stop. So everyone has to join again. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Will you be able to start it, Ali? Because I don't know if I will be able to do it. Or am I, why don't you return? I have to return to you as a host, is that right? Ali?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll stop